Hello everybody, my name is Jeffrey Allen Ford. I belong to 16 different high IQ societies, including Mensa. Here I am being featured on the cover of the July 2016 Mensa World Journal. I also belong to the 999 Society for people with IQs in the 99.9th percentile and above, mine's above, and I was honored last year in Michigan's House of Representatives for winning a global election to become the World Genius Directory's 2016 Genius of the Year for America. Today we're going to be talking about 15 genius tips to think clearly. There's a battle going on every day for control over our minds, and some people are not fighting fairly, are they? Today we're going to be talking about why that is and what we can do to win this battle. We don't have any time to lose, it's that important, so let's get started. Genius tip to think clearly, number 1. Independent thought. It's not just an option, it's our duty. When we were children, our parents would tell us how we must behave. When we go to school, we were taught what we must think. If we went to church, we were told what we should believe. Advertisers tell us how we should spend our money. Our bosses, if we have one, tell us what we're supposed to do. And lawmakers at the local, state, national, and even global level tell us how we're supposed to live our lives, under what rules. That's a whole lot of powerful voices to have going through your head throughout your life. But what about your voice? What do you think? How do you think you should live? Your voice matters. You need to really just don't let other people's voices live rent-free in your head. Reclaim your voice, get in touch with your voice, and it'll help you go a far way in life. Genius tip number 2, consider the source. Parents, educators, religious leaders, scientists, philosophers, lawmakers, they all may or may not have your best interests in mind, but everyone is prone to error. They can make mistakes and spread falsehoods without even knowing it. So always question, always research, and just realize you're responsible for what your ultimate decisions are, not the other people around you. Number 3, don't compromise yourself away. When you work around or live around other people, compromises are often necessary. Compromising on a price or compromising on which way to put the bathroom tissue on the holder, those are compromises that you can make. However, compromising on your ethics and values changes who you are. Because once you change those things, you start living differently. You start becoming someone else, and they become habitual. Keep yourself. Don't lose yourself. Don't compromise yourself away. Number 4, watch out for the dangers of groupthink. Large groups of people have accomplished great things in this world. They truly have. They've launched us into space. Think about it. However, large groups of people can also get together using their best collective minds, and they can start movements with people with the names of Stalin, Mao, Pol Pot, and Hitler, where people in your own country will be slaughtered in the millions. That's what groupthink is capable of. It can take us to the highest heights, and it can take us to our lowest lows. So just because the majority believes a certain thing does not mean that the majority is right or that they have your best interests in mind. So you have an obligation to yourself and really to the people around you too, to question everything and to think critically. Don't get wrapped up in movements without really knowing what that movement's all about. Number 5, avoid stereotyping. Stereotyping is wrong on so many levels. Don't judge anyone based simply on what their race or what their religion is. It doesn't tell you everything about that person, obviously. And not only that, but are you exactly like everybody else in your race or religion? Of course not. You're not like a single other person who's ever lived, period. So just don't do that. It's wrong. Take people one at a time and do the mental math on this. If you're intelligent at all, you'll be able to figure this out. Just look at people as an individual, just like what you want them to look at you as. Number 6, genuinely listen to people. Wow, it is unbelievable to me how difficult it is for people to listen. You'll be talking to people, you think that they get it, they're nodding and all of that, and then when they start talking, you can tell they didn't hear a word you said because of the mental chatter going on in their head. Maybe they assumed that they knew what you're talking about. Perhaps they were thinking about what they wanted to talk about. But regardless, so many misunderstandings and errors and hurt feelings can just be avoided if we just listen. And as a matter of fact, that's my one-step solution to the whole problem with listening. Just listen. Harder things than that get accomplished every day. Believe me on this. Number 7, remain open to contrary opinions. Good people can and do disagree on things. And it's important to know what's going on in other people's hearts and in their minds. And so when you listen to other people's ideas, you at least know where they're coming from. And you never know, maybe they're right. And then you can be thankful for that because you learned something new. But even if they're not right, at least you learn that there's another perspective that you can view something from. And either way you look at it, you at least gain something by remaining open. Number 8. And remember, the advertisers, this is almost self-explanatory, but it needs to be said because obviously it works for so many people. Remember, the advertisers, they don't care about you. They care about your money. I don't care who the celebrity endorser is that's giving a heartfelt, deeply heartfelt, and well paid for testimonial is. They're being paid. That's a whole lot different than if your best friend or someone who you love and care about, maybe a family member or coworker, if they tell you that, you know, I had this experience with this product and boy, it was fantastic. That means something to me, okay, because it's real life experience. So just realize they don't care about you, okay? When you're watching television, that's not the only programming going on, the television shows. The other programming is being done through advertising. And it costs so much because it works so well. Don't let it work on you without critically thinking, okay? Okay. The other thing, number 9, beware of the Dunning-Kruger effect. The Dunning-Kruger effect is when people of lower intellect think they're a lot smarter than they are, and people with higher intellects, they don't view themselves as high as what they actually are on the intellectual scale. And this can cause problems from both ends. So honestly assess where you're at, and if you need help doing that, and everybody probably does, get your IQ tested, or just gauge yourself somehow based on how intelligent you actually are. If you need help, if you need the advice of other people more than what the average person does, got it. Or let's say you're very high intelligence, but yet you don't know anything about something. go get other people's help. There's no shame in any of this. And also, if you have a higher intellect, one of the parts of Dunning-Kruger effect is that we often assume that other people have the body of knowledge we do. Be careful with that, because a lot of people don't. And they will talk and pretend like they know what they're talking about and have absolutely no idea at all. That can cause a whole lot of problems. So just be aware of the Dunning-Kruger effect and be careful. Number 10, choose your own labels. People just love to label other people and themselves. I'm no different. I choose my labels very, very carefully. I'm a father, a son, a friend, a writer, a speaker, and many other things. Now, other people might choose to label me quite differently. I've noticed that in the comment section, and that's okay. Good people and other people can disagree on different things. That's not shocking. But don't carry stuff around with you inside. Don't internalize the labels that you don't want to own, okay? So choose your labels. You define yourself. Number 11, keep learning. New things are being discovered all the time, and some of what you've learned in the past may have been wrong. For example, let's take Pluto. Forget about Pluto, okay? There's a Mickey Mouse planet to begin with. But anyway, things change. Be aware of that. New things are being discovered all the time. Stay up to date on the things that really apply to your life, and that will help you make better decisions and to think more clearly. Number 12, admit what you're wrong and be thankful. What I mean by that is we all are prone to mistakes. We all are prone to error. Admit when you're wrong. Maybe admit it to someone else if you need to, but definitely admit it to yourself. And when you do admit it to yourself, be thankful, be grateful, because you've done two things that are really important. One, you've gotten error out of your head, and two, you've learned something new, so you won't have to go to bed as ignorant as you woke up that morning. I love these things. I celebrate when I find out that I was wrong. I don't want to be wrong too often, mind you, but when I am, I own it. And that helps me to live a more responsible, intelligent life. Number 13, eat well and sleep well. Our brains are just another body part, and we have to give those things, our body, the nutrients and the rest that it needs to develop and to function properly. Do not ignore your cognitive maintenance. Eat well, hydrate, and sleep well. You'll be glad you did. Number 14, remember, we're also human beings, and we're not just a mind. We have emotions. So number 14 is remember to feel. Sometimes it's easy to live too much in our head and to just be focused on, okay, this is a smart thing to do. But sometimes you really need to take your feelings into account and other people's feelings as well. One of the things I'm very aware of is that mercy and forgiveness are often needed the most by people when they deserve it the least. And knowing that, what I try to do is, if possible, I want to bestow forgiveness and mercy on them. I do it when I do that from the heart, and I also do that because I believe there's a logical chance that it can help them to turn around. So use your heart and use your head when making decisions. And number 15, own your own mind. Sometimes just go off to somewhere. It can be in your home, it can be outdoors, it can be in a library, just somewhere that can be quiet and you can have solitude and be alone with your own thoughts. What do you think? What do you believe? Who are you today? These are the things that help to make you, you. I hope that you will follow all of these 15 genius tips to think clearly, and I'd like to leave you with one admonition, and that is simply be an individual and stay you. If you've enjoyed this video, I hope you'll remember to click the like button and to subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.